What's up, sassy gamers? Phoenix Nova here to talk about the free games that you can get this coming month, February 2021. These will be available through the Microsoft's Xbox Games for Gold, Sony's PlayStation Plus, and for my PC friends, the Epic Games Store, Stadia, Gala, and Prime Gaming. Let's start with Xbox Games with Gold. Xbox brings the heat this month with 5 titles. First up is Gears 5, $39.99. Available all month, February 1st through the 28th. Originally an Xbox One game, this has been updated to take advantage of the Series generation. Series generation? The current Xbox. This was the first attempt at a more open world in the Gears of War franchise. They were fairly close to the mark, but the open world portions seem very barren and the optional side quests are few and not very optional. Still, this has plenty of that crazy Gears action in the campaign and in the multiplayer modes. The 1999 DLC Hivebusters that recently came out is a roller coaster ride of over-the-top action movie campaign fun. That's a great addition for this free game. Next is Resident Evil. That's right, the original. Estimated at $29.99, this is available February 1st to the 28th. This is for the Xbox One and the current generation Xbox. So this is the original that started all. It's the single-player survival horror game. It's time to go back to 1998 in Raccoon City, join STARS, and investigate murders at a mansion at the outskirts of the city. You never know what you may find, but no one will say the word zombies. Then there's Dandara, Trial of Fear Edition, available February 16th to March 15th at an estimated $14.99. This was released February 2018, and it's a single-player platformer with a twist. Literally. As you jump around the screen, you can land on salt, twisting the perspective for a new up or down. Lots of weapons, puzzles, and cool mechanics based on this twisting world await. An old Xbox favorite comes back with Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb. It's estimated at about $9.99. It's available February 1st to the 15th. Last month we got Lego Indiana. Now we get regular video game Indiana. This is a third-person perspective action and puzzle game that was enhanced for the Xbox One. We jump back to 1930s China, where we join up with Indiana Jones as he tries to keep the latest MacGuffin out of the baddie's hands. You get to solve puzzles, wield a Tommy gun, and avoid or run from traps in true indie fashion. In this story, you will work your way through the Chinese underground as you quest for the mystical Heart of the Dragon. Because, well, it belongs in a museum. Lost Planet 2, estimated $19.99, available February 16th to the 28th. This Xbox 360 game picks up 10 years after the original. Ice is melted and EDN is looking better than ever. Until you look at the giant creatures that are trying to kill you. This third-person action game lets you control heroes from each faction as you play through 6 episodes, with a wide variety of weapons like shotguns and lasers, and even the walking vital suits that sow carnage wherever they go. The story is even more fun with a friend, or friends, with up to 4-person co-op, both local and online. Enjoy multiplayer with up to 16 combatants, with one of my favorite old school perks, the grappling hook. Now for PlayStation Plus. PS Plus is bringing its A game this month, a new release, a top game of 2019, and a wondrous tale from that same year. First up is the PS5 version of Destruction Allstars. Originally, this was set to be $69.99 and a release title on the PS5. Currently, they don't list a price, but right now, it's available with PS Plus from February 2nd all the way through April 5th. This is a brand new, just released arena vehicular and on-foot combat third-person perspective game where you jump into a vehicle and cause mayhem and destruction. 28 cars, 16 drivers to choose from, each with different looks and abilities while in the cars and on foot. Got wrecked? No problem. Jump out of the car and take over or wreck over one of your rivals. The game also supports PS5's Game Help feature, where you can watch videos or get information containing tips and hints. The next 2 PS Plus titles will both be available until March 1st. For PS5 and PS4, we have Control Ultimate Edition, normally $39.99. You are the new director of the Federal Bureau of Control. I know it surprises you just as much as it did me. In this third-person action game, use supernatural abilities to clean up the Bureau and find answers to your past. This highly rated game was one of the top games of 2019 and recently has had updates for current generation consoles. This Ultimate Edition includes the base game as well as the Foundation and AWE Awe expansions. Aw. Next is the PS4 game Concrete Genie, estimated retail price $29.99. This is a third-person puzzle game with some light action, a very charming game where you get to play as a kid with artistic talent that learns that his paintings come to life when he uses this magical paintbrush. So he sets out to clean up his polluted town of Denska with the help of mischievous genies that he creates. These genies are custom created by you, the player, and have magical abilities that help solve problems and protect you from the bullies that come after you. This also includes 2 additional modes built especially for the PlayStation VR to let you further unleash your creativity. Now let's talk free PC games. First up from Epic, we have For the King, normally $44.99, from February 4th to February 11th. This roguelite adventure game that plays in some ways like early JRPG games is a fun little world beheaded by dark forces that you and your small party have to keep at bay. But you don't have to go it on your own. You can invite friends to help you since it supports up to 3 players in online play. This was our game of moment here at SAS Gaming, and we had a blast playing it. Run out and grab this one for the short week that it's free. Stadia Pro has some free games this month as well. Awry and the Secret of Seasons, $19.99 normally. A single-player 3D platformer puzzle adventure game with RPG elements. Play Ariella, a girl with magical powers based on the seasons of the year. Puzzles to be solved with your powers, fight bosses, and a fun little story to keep this game going. El Hijo, a Wild West Tale, $19.99. A single-player game in 3/4 isometric perspective, El Hijo is an exciting spaghetti western stealth game in which you guide a 6-year-old boy on his quest to find his mother. F1, registered trademark, 2020, $23.99. Build and manage your dream F1 team in this racing simulation title. The 10-year career mode includes creating a driver, hiring teammates, building the facilities, choosing a sponsor and engine supplier, and of course, driving the F1 car. And this also features all the official teams and 22 circuits, including the new races Hanoi Circuit and Circuit Zandvoort. Then race your friends with online multiplayer, with variable assists available so that everyone can play regardless of skill level. Figment, $19.99. A single-player 3/4 perspective, cartoonish little action game. Guide Dusty and Piper on an adventure through the different sides of the mind, seeking the courage that has been lost. And lastly, Hotline Miami, normally $14.99. A single-player top-down shooter with a bumping soundtrack to kill to. Step into the neon-soaked underground of 1980s Miami as bizarre messages on your answering machine seem to be urging you to commit terrible acts of violence. But will you obey? Hotline Miami overflows with raw brutality and skull-crushing close combat as you find yourself outgunned and using your wits to choreograph your way through impossible situations. On Prime Gaming, formerly known as Twitch Prime, there is a whole bunch of titles that are free until March 31st from SNK, Code Mystics, and others. Note, I didn't look up the estimated prices on all of these. We have Goru, Mark of the Wolves, The King of Fighters, 97 Global Match, The King of Fighters 98 Ultimate Match Final Edition, The King of Fighters 2002 Ultimate Match, The Last Blade 2, Metal Slug 3, Samurai Showdown, Shock Troopers, Baseball Stars 2, Ironclad, King of Monsters, Metal Slug 2, Sengoku 3, SNK 40th Anniversary Collection, and Shock Troopers Second Squad. Indie Gala has 2 titles that are free for an undetermined time. Corrosion, Cold Winter Waiting, about $7.99. A single-player point-and-click adventure puzzle game with slideshow movement. Set entirely underneath a country farmhouse in the deserted and claustrophobic confines of the mysterious and secret underground complex, you explore a place nobody knew existed and uncovered a twisted past that gets more terrifying with every corner turned, every door opened, and every note read. What happened beneath Cold Winter Farm? And lastly, Desert Child, normally about $4.79. Assume the role of a young hover bike racer who needs to figure out how to scrape enough cash together through racing and odd jobs to punch your one-way ticket to the Red Planet to enter the biggest race in the universe, the Grand Prix. Well, that's it for this month. If you want to see more content like this, please hit the thumbs up and let us know. Punch that subscribe button to help us out, and that alert bell if you want a notification when we drop new videos like this that may have a time limit built into the content. Until next time, sassy gamers, this has been Phoenix Nova.